All right. Hello, everybody. How we doing? It is a little bit after 9 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started with the office hours for Tuesday. We are looking at, what is it? April 21st. All the days are just kind of running together, aren't they? I wanted to put together this kind of last minute office hours. We have had a huge increase in people joining the course, lots of questions coming in. I know a lot of people are stressed, feeling a lot of anxiety, feeling that we're not doing enough, even though we are. And so I just wanted to put together this office hours session just to go over some concepts. If people join in, be able to make sure I have an opportunity to do some Q&A and just to help kind of explain what we have going on, because I know quite a few of you have joined in this week and you feel behind, you feel like you can't catch up, and I just want to help you with those feelings and emotions. So before we get going, I just want to welcome you to the Google Geeking PD course. My name is Aaron Maurer. I am the STEM lead at the Mississippi Bend AEA, for those that don't know who I am. So I support our 21 school districts in STEM and in makerspace and computer science. A passion of mine is hands-on learning and using play opportunities, using Lego, Minecraft, Makey, microbits, just basic old school tools to bring learning to life. And so part of this course is I love tech. I have a blog, coffeeforthebrain.com, where I post lots of tips and tricks and ideas and projects on a daily basis. And so this just seemed like a natural opportunity to bring some of that insight together. I was getting lots of questions from teachers and coaches and admin from a variety of schools. So I thought, why not just create a place? Let's model the learning by developing a Google Classroom that many of you are being asked to use. And let's create a place where we can build a repository full of ideas, tutorials, tips, and tricks, as well as a community for people to share and exchange ideas as we journey in this new frontier of remote teaching and remote learning. And I know that it's a lot to take in. And so that's where this idea has kind of come together. So a lot of you saw this through the social media channels if you follow the blog or the Facebook page for Coffee for the Brain, or just through Twitter and things like that. It's also in the AEA online learning, where we post a selection of different courses and webinars and things every week based on feedback and things that we need. So it's in there as well. So if you join that way, and some of it's just word of mouth. So I want to welcome you. I want you to know that the class will never shut down. You'll always have access to all the materials in that course. And I know that we also have a wide range of experience. Some of you are trying to navigate stuff beyond your Gmail for the first time ever in your life. Some of you have been doing lots of this for quite some time. You're looking for some more advanced things. We've got people that are maybe good in one area, need some help in another. And I just like to phrase it as, we take everybody. Everybody's at their own point A trying to get to their own point B. And what we want to do is just help you realize to know some things that you didn't know that you didn't know. And so even myself, even going back through these things and creating the videos and trying to create these resources, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this, forgot about that. And oh, I naturally do this. And maybe the same things for you. You're doing some amazing work. So I want to welcome all of you. Last week we started with a few people on a Monday, and we're up to, I think, 21 by the end of the week. And here we are on Tuesday, and we are now up to 36 people in the course. So I want to welcome all of you. We've got a wide range, not just in our AEA region, but across the state, as well as across the United States. So we're starting to get educators from around. So I think it's going to be really robust the more we kind of get into this together. So I wanted to start off with that welcome and kind of give you the context for the course. Now, the purpose of the course, or how the course operates, is as follows. There's a lot in there, all right? So if I were to jump over here, and I know that in the classwork, there is a lot going on in here. All right, we have started to add the Flipgrid learning this week and Chrome browser learning this week. There's general resources. There's office hours where you can see the video from last week that I posted 4 different tips. There's a place for feedback that we had last week. Here's all the things about Google Classroom. That's where a lot of you are having questions right now. Stuff on Google Meet, and then this the general stuff from week to week. So I know that when you join, this is a lot of information. And I want you to understand something that I think is really important to kind of keep your sanity as we move through this is you're not designed to, you come late to this, you get caught up, so to speak. There are lots of pathways. So this week we have Flipgrid pathway. We have a Google Classroom for the level 1 Google Educator Certification Skills pathway. And then I'm focusing on the Google Chrome browser as a pathway. So we've got 3 pathways. You can do all of them. You can do one of them. You can do none of them. They are just there for you to explore as you navigate your learning. I know you're already trying to, you already have 2 parallels, right, of learning taking place. You're trying to take all your content and your day-to-day operations of what you used to do in the face-to-face environment, and you're trying now to make that work in this weird online place that no one really knows how to do. And then you're also then trying to learn the tech and the platforms that allow that content and structure and routines to happen. And so what I see working with my wife, who's an algebra teacher, and working with different groups of teachers through different causes, it's muddy. We're trying to do all of that together, and it's got to be separate. You got to figure out how you're going to teach, what that's going to look like, what you're going to deploy to the kids, and then we look at what are the tools that are going to allow us to get that out. And so I know that's a weird mindset, mind shift, and maybe you disagree with that. I know my wife disagreed with it for quite some time. But I really think you got to look at it 2 different layers. You can't be trying to figure out a tool and this at the same time. Create what you need, the essential things for your kids, and then we can build that out. So as we think about that, this course is designed to be self-paced. Right? There's no consequences if you do or don't do things. You're not going to be behind. You pick and choose. It's self-selected. So if you're not interested in Google Chrome stuff right now, don't worry about doing it. And so what I'm trying to tell people here is that it's a community. I want you sharing and connecting. We have the classroom where you can post stuff. We have a Discord where you can start to share ideas as well. I've been contemplating creating a Facebook group for this as well. I haven't done that yet, but maybe we'll see if the numbers continue to go up and we need another space just to kind of have a day-to-day conversation. We can do that. But what I'm telling people is, this week I'm posting 3 videos a day, which is a lot. It's overwhelming. It feels overwhelming. Pick one. Spend 15 to 20 minutes on that one thing. See if you can learn something from it, and then move on. And if you have time for more and you want to do more, go for it. But don't feel like you have to do it all. A lot of you were emailing me this week going, I didn't know this course existed. I'm never going to get caught up. Don't approach it that way. Approach it as, I need to learn something about Google Streams, in the stream in the Google Classroom. I need to learn about this extension. I need to learn about Flipgrid. And you pick one of those and you just work through it. It's always going to be there. It's not going away. You're not behind. You're not ahead. You're on your own journey. So just take a deep breath. You're going to be okay. Don't treat this like you're trying to get your master's or you're back in school. There's no consequences. You're not going to fail. I'm not going to give you a detention, right? We're going to make this stuff work. So with that being said, I want to get into a couple topics. So a lot of you, I have posted in the Google Classroom a opportunity here to, as you are working through navigating your ideas, to create a test classroom. And so I had that over here in the Google Classroom, right here, productivity tip number 2. For a lot of you to think about creating your own test class and then having a student in there and making that work. And a lot of you are running into snags within your district system. They're telling you they can't. They're telling you that it's not possible. And I'm not here to say they are right or wrong. I'm not here for you to get in a squabble with your IT department. And so one of the things you could do is create personal accounts, but then now all of a sudden you're juggling all these different email accounts and that gets cumbersome. You've got enough on your plate as is. Unless you're interested in that, then go for it. That's what I have. I've got my classroom, I've got my personal emails all connected, but that works for me because I've had that established for a while. Here's what I want to tell you on this. Number 1, don't spend too much time on it. If it's not working, it's not working. There are bigger fish to fry. There are more important matters. You'll be just fine experimenting with your kids. It just proves that you're learning along with them. And I think that shows a great deal of your character. And it shows that we're not perfect either in these times, just like the students are trying to learn. Number 2, one thing that you can do, so if you are stuck within your domains of your school or of your district and you can't bring other people in, completely get that. I'm not here to say you should or shouldn't. What you can do is, if you have a colleague that you're doing this with, a team, I have a colleague over here that I'm working with, my other computer science teacher, whatever it may be. I could create a classroom as a teacher, and I could invite my colleague as a student, and they could do the same thing, vice versa. And then now what that allows you to do, that will work within your district domain. And then what you can do then is you can see, hear me, I'm testing it as a teacher. They can give me feedback as a student. And if they do the exact same thing, like you guys are creating these experiments together, then you could be their student in their classroom and you could see it from the student view. And so that way you're both working together, but you're both getting both perspectives, the teacher and the student lens. You each create a classroom. This person is the student for this classroom. This person is the student for this classroom. And you can have conversations. So that's probably the easiest way to work through if you have someone like that, just, to work that way. Otherwise, I just wouldn't worry about it. It'll be okay. Anything we do in here is not going to be so earth-shattering as if you try it with students that it's going to ruin their learning or anything like that. But that's probably the best thing that you can do. One of the things that I'll share with you is, if that's something that you want, this has been a request that people have asked Google now. I think all the way back to like 2014. I mean, this is a thing that they wanted for teachers to have access to a student view forever. So one of the things that I can encourage you to do within the classroom, if there's things that you want, Google does respond to what teachers are asking. So if you're in your classroom, you can go down here to this question right here. You can go right there. And you can go to this report issue or request feature, and you could request that. You could let them know, I want a student view perspective as a teacher. I think the more that they get that, they're more willing to make that stuff work. And so if you want to be an advocate for that, a lot of you want it, that's the way to go. If you want to do that perspective there and let them know, like, hey, it's about time we get that opportunity. So just wanted you to have that as an opportunity. I don't want you to stress about it any more than what it needs to be. If you can make it work, great. If not, don't worry about it. If you have a colleague, maybe sample that way, and we will move on from there. We will survive. So the other things that I wanted to talk about here in the office hours for today was the Flipgrid Livestream I'm going to be hosting tomorrow. At the same time, I'll be posting the link in the Google Classroom today once I get that set up. I'm going to be experimenting with doing a live stream, so it will not be a Google Meet like you're seeing here. I'm going to attempt to do a live stream through YouTube. At least that is the plan. So you will be able to watch on YouTube. You're going to be able to leave comments and chats through the YouTube stream. And I just want to see how this works for an idea that I'm developing for this course, in terms of, I want to deliver content, but I don't want my kids' faces be seen. I don't want to deal with the mics. I just want to be able to get their feedback, and I want to be able to present whatever information it might be. So be looking for that. That Flipgrid PD is going to basically take everything we've been doing this whole week in the Flipgrid Geeking PD. Every day we've been doing a little chunk. We're going to go through that whole thing in one big shebang and then open it up to Q&A. So I envision about 30 minutes of going through stuff and then 30 minutes of practice, application, questions, that sort of thing. And if you can't make the live webinar, then just realize you're going to be getting it through those daily chunks as well. So just trying two different formats to see what works best for the learning and for you. I know not everybody can make it to the live stream, but at least that will be recorded for you to have access to at a later date. So be on the lookout for that later today. Just want to make sure I shared that with you. I also then wanted to share that a lot of the skills that we are doing, all right, so a lot of these skills that we've been doing in the Google Classroom this week have been part of this Google Certified Educator Level 1. And so what I'm doing is I shared that list of all these skills with you. And what this is, I'll put a link along with this recording when I'm done. But Google has a certified educator level 1 that you can go through. It's going to get you the training, just practice, and then you can get certified. So it is about a 3-hour test. It does cost money, but I know that several districts now are asking their teachers to get certified in case something like this were to happen again in the future. And so this is what it looks like. I'm starting all over, actually reset all my stuff. So I'm starting from the beginning. I'm still relatively new. I'm working on this with some AEA people. I've done this a long time ago, but it's time to do it again. And so if you're interested in that, I'm just pulling some of the skills that are in there. So for those that are doing this work, you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, I'm not going through everything in there because that's what the whole learning course is. I am just looking at sharing the skills needed from a teacher perspective in terms of what you need to be effective. So like these classroom skills are designed to help you with that course, but at the same time, only picking out the ones that I think will help you be effective as we figure out this remote teaching and remote learning. So some of you are asking about that. If you're interested in that, and there is actually quite a few of you that are doing this, I would love to create our own little network, and maybe we can do some study groups and learning together so we can get ourselves ready for the exam. I know we've got some people where I work in the AEA doing this, and I know there's lots of teachers and districts doing it, so there's an opportunity there for us to build some community and learning around that. The last thing that I'll share here in the office hours, unless anyone jumps on, I don't see anybody yet, is the rest of this week is going to be focused on the assignments. A lot of questions coming in about assignments within the classroom. So I just finished filming a tip for assignments in the Google Classroom that'll go live on Thursday, and then Friday will be even more about feedback, eventually getting into how do we import grades from a form into the classroom. There's lots of things that we can do that I think will make your life easier the more you get familiar with Google Classroom. And so a lot of people now are trying to figure out how to use a form as an assignment to get feedback, whether it's a CFA or just a check-in or whatever it might be. All these things are coming. So I appreciate those of you reaching out, asking questions, letting me know what you need. And that's probably the best thing for us to leave on is as you're navigating through these, all these assignments are asking you to share a comment with me, to let me know what you're learning, what's new for you, what are you finding interesting, what other questions do you have? And so the communication is really important. I know you're super busy. I know I'm asking for one more thing, but if you don't share those things, then I'm just trying to guess what I think people need based on conversation. So the more feedback that you provide, the more I can cater the learning and the tips to you as we go. So with all that being said, 20 minutes is plenty of time to ramble on with you. I will post this in the classroom. I'll get the links to the certified educator thing and other things like that. I just want you to know that I'm here for you, that I genuinely care about making sure that you feel good about this. I'm spending lots of time with my wife and her math team, lots of calls with other educator groups, throughout the day as they need stuff. And a lot of that drives things that we're doing here, and just realize that this is a safe place to ask for help, get insights. And I hope that you're finding value in this course, in this structure, and this platform versus just a 1-hour stop. Hear everything it is and then be done. We kind of have this place you can kind of return to and come back to over and over again. And I have complete intentions of doing this the rest of our remote learning. So even if it's stuff that you know or don't know that help you this year, at least maybe it'll springboard forward to stuff for next year when we're back to normal routine. So, all right, everybody, welcome new people, people who've been at it already for the first 2 weeks. Thanks for sticking around and being part of it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your questions, ideas that you have, any feedback based on what I've shared here this morning. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Let's make it happen. Let's make it work. Let's be successful. Let's support one another, and if all else fails, just, drink some coffee. All right, my friends, as always, you know the drill. Peace and stay awesome.